what's up, my fellow dreamers? My name is Jazzy, aka Dizzy Dreamer 92, and welcome to today's honest conversation. Now, I feel pretty safe in saying that no matter who you are, how attractive you are, how successful you have felt rejection at least once in your life. Now, I use the term rejection lightly, but I'm sure as people we've all felt the sting of when you like somebody and they do not like you back. Now, as a 23-year-old female, wig comb, I have felt this on many occasions. Not like a lot, I don't want to make it seem like that, but on different occasions, I've had this situation happen where I'm really, really into this person. That person doesn't like me back. And it sucks. We've all been there. You get to know this person, you're just like, oh my gosh, like you're amazing, and you're sweet, and you're all of these things. It's like, I've been looking for you. And then, as it turns out, they do not like you back. They do not feel the same. And it sucks. Now, case in point, just to get honest and to relate this back to my life in a way that maybe you can relate to, when I was a senior in high school, senior year was a very important time. Having senioritis and waiting for senior ball. Now senior ball was amazing. I had a beautiful dress. I looked fly as hell. Let's just be honest, I did. And I had a really awesome date. Now, more background on who this date was. See, I had met this person who, I'm not going to use names in this story because, one, I'm going to, not put their identity out for the world to see, aside from the people out there that are going to watch this and actually know who he is. And two, I thought it'd be really weird to go to this person and be like, hey, I'm going to talk about this story on the internet for people. Is that okay if I use your name? That would have been weird to just interject myself like that, so anyway, so there was this guy, and I had met him through mutual friends at my church, and, it was an interesting thing, like, going into it and, like, realizing that I had a crush on him, because even though we have a lot in common, like, music taste-wise and, personality-wise and other things, like, he's not normally, like, the kind of guy that I'm like, oh, I like you, just, I guess you could almost say, like, he wasn't my normal type, whatever, but anyway, like, so I met this guy, and at first, like, oh, cool, he's a cool friend, and then, over time, I started to realize, like, oh my gosh, like, I kind of have a crush on him, because he's pretty dang cute, and he's awesome, and he's all of these things that, like, are just, like, yes, 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 and so I really, really liked this guy, and so senior ball time is getting close, and it's time to, like, start getting, like, your tickets and everything, and start finding the perfect dress, and start finding a date. And of course, no guys from my school were gonna ask me to senior ball. Like, let's be honest, they're all but that wasn't gonna happen. So I kind of had to take matters into my own hands, and when it came time to, like, think about, like, oh, who would I want to take to the senior ball, like, my best friend at the time, like, she had already figured out who her date was gonna be, and so I was like, oh. And then the thought came to me, I was like, oh, what if I ask Guy, the guy that I'm like, oh, he's so, and then of course I was like, no, there's no way he would go with me, and of course, my best friend at the time was like, no, like, ask him, like, we hang out all the time, like, I think he likes you, too, so ask him, and it'll be fun. And so, long story short, so we were hanging out, me, the guy, and then my best friend, and we were hanging out, and then we dropped her off, and he was going to drop me off at home, and then, before we had even left where we were, I think we were at a bowling alley, I'm pretty sure, and, before we left, I had asked him, like, hey, are you busy on May, whatever day in May the senior ball was, I don't remember, honestly, and he was like, oh, I don't know why, and I was like, oh, just wondering, because I was kind of chickening out. I was like, oh, I don't want to ask him. I'm scared. And so then, fast forward, so we're in my parking lot. He parks, he's going to let me out. And then I'm like, the reason I asked if you were busy this day is because I wanted to see if you go to senior ball with me. I think it was something like that, too, because I was just, like, really nervous. And of course, to my surprise, like, he actually said, yeah, I'll go. And I was like, oh my god, you said yeah. And I was so ecstatic because I was like, yes, if he wants to go to my senior ball thing, he actually said yes. Maybe he likes me too. Like, maybe there's a possibility that I'm not going to strike out with somebody, and maybe they might just feel the same. Like, oh! So, sorry. Sitting Indian style on the floor sometimes isn't always comfortable. So anyway, so fast forward to senior ball. You know, he comes. We're about to get on the bus. You know, we take some pictures together. He got me a beautiful corsage that matched my dress, and I got to do his boutonniere thing, which like I never thought I was gonna get to do because in high school I wasn't one of the cute popular girls. I mean, I was cute, don't get me wrong, but I wasn't popular, so it's not like I didn't have anybody to go with to wear like for like a prom where I could be like, okay, like we're gonna get the corsage, we're gonna get the boutonniere. Like this was like the real thing for me, and I was really, really excited. I was like, oh gosh, like this is happening. Like I have a date, and I have a date that's cute, and he doesn't go to the school, and I don't have to, and, okay, anyway, I'm sounding superficial, I'm sorry, but, so anyway, so fast forward, like, we have a great time at, dinner, we have a great time at prom, at least I hope he had a good time. I never really got to ask him, but from what I could perceive, like, we were having a good time, and sometime during the night, like, we had separated, and, I was talking to, like, my best girlfriends, which, was my best friend at the time, and then my other best friend, and then a close friend, and I was telling him, like, I really want to tell him that I like him, but I'm scared, and of course they were all encouraging, like, no, you should just tell him, like, he's here, so he must, like, kind of feel the same, like, do it! Enter Shia LaBeouf, just do it! And so, by the end of the night, I was kind of like, I was still on the fence. I was like, should I, shouldn't I? Like, I was just so afraid, like, if I told him, like, if it turns out, like, he didn't like me, like, he would be like, oh, well, our friendship's over. That's fun while it lasted. Sorry, I ruined things. That's what I do. And, so, we get back to my friend's house, who we're all staying the night. Well, almost all of us. My date wasn't going to because, I mean, let's be honest, it is kind of weird when you're like religious and then all of the people are staying in the house and sleeping over and stuff, so I don't blame him for that. But he was gonna leave and he was gonna give me a hug goodbye, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna walk you to your car because I want to talk to you about something. And he's like, oh, okay. So he says goodbye to like my other friends and everything, and then so we start walking to his car, and we're quiet the entire way because I'm just like, oh my god, I'm doing this. Like, I'm actually about to, like, tell somebody how I feel about them, because after that point, like, I had never had the chance to actually tell somebody how I felt about them. I either in the past, if I liked somebody, they never found out, and I never said anything, and the crush just eventually went away, or in, like, one situation, I liked somebody, and some person that somehow found out the information about me liking them went to that person and told them, and it was terrible, and I was very upset. But anyway, so I was just like, oh my god, like this is gonna happen. So we get to his car, and I'm just like, okay, like I don't have any choice. Like I'm here. It'd be weird to just be like, oh, never mind, I had a good time, bye. So I just told him, I was like, I had to tell you like that I like you, and I was like, you're just this awesome guy, and I had like such a good time, and I couldn't like just not tell you, and he was like, oh, okay, and and I got a hug goodnight, and even though like I hadn't gotten like a kind of confirmation like, oh yeah, I like you too, or like a the opposite of like, no, I don't like you, I didn't get an answer or anything like that. I was still ecstatic for the rest of the night. I was like, I was so happy. And then a couple days later, I'm chilling at home. I hadn't heard from him. I was gonna kind of like let him process the information, and and I was gonna wait for him to, text me and be like, I feel the same way. And then a couple days later, I was sitting at home and I got a text from him, and it was him telling me that even though I'm, an awesome girl and a good Christian and, these other things, he did not feel the same way, and he actually liked someone else. And at that moment, like, I sent a text back, and I tried to kind of play it cool, and was just like, well, I mean, cool, but still hurt at the same time, because I was hurt, and, it's me. And I text back, and I was like, oh, it's okay, like, I figured you weren't gonna feel the same way. No one ever feels the same way anyway. You know, good luck with the person that you like, and I'm sure whoever she is, you're gonna make her very happy. And of course, you know, at 18 and, being someone who wanted to, be in a relationship and everything, I was very like, oh, I was very crushed, and I feel like I went through a period of what all of us go through when that happens. Like, I spend a lot of time wondering, like, well, what's wrong with me? Like, was I not enough? Like, whew. And that's what's really, like, you know, scary and detrimental to ourselves is, like, having doubt in ourselves and thinking that we're, like, terrible or, like, we're not worth anything because this one person that we liked, like, doesn't like us. Like, I can assure you guys, if anyone's, like, felt this way or is feeling this way currently, like, as somebody who is very single and, like, definitely not going to be in a relationship anytime soon, like, I'm literally the person that, like, all my friends, like, not all of them, but so many of my friends are getting married and engaged and whatever, and I'm the person who is posting Man Crush Mondays on, like, Instagram and Facebook of, like, Markiplier, and it's like, that's never going to happen. Oh, but look at my life. This is my Man Crush Monday, but here you are. You guys have physical beings and people that you're, like, in love with, and it's beautiful. And even, being in that situation for myself, and, maybe, and you guys maybe are in a situation similar, like, it'll happen. It just takes time, and I know that's so frustrating. Like, one of my really close friends, she's married now. When we were younger, I used to tell her, like, it just takes time. Like, she'd always talk, because I had been in more relationships than her, and she was like, well, you've been in relationships with guys like you, and I've never been, and it's like, no, but that's good. Like, there's so many reasons why, not being in a relationship for a long time, and then finding someone who's, like, perfect for you is great, over, being the person that, finds different relationships, and they all, just get fucked up, and I'm sorry, I feel like I'm rambling, and I don't mean to, but, I just want to tell you guys, like, as a person who is very single and who has experienced it, like, there's nothing wrong with you, and your worth is not based on whether or not a guy or a girl, whoever, has feelings for you. Like, this isn't so much in this case with me and this guy, this story, but, like, your value does not decrease based on somebody's inability to see your worth. Like, and that's not the case for everybody. Like, sometimes the chemistry is not going to be there. You're going to think somebody likes you, they're not going to like you. And that's kind of what happened with this guy. I thought maybe he liked me back, but he didn't. But you know what? He's still someone I consider to be one of my good friends, and he is very engaged now, and his fiance is beautiful, and he is going to make her very, very happy. And I'm so happy for them, and I'm glad that that's where life, what his life path, like, went to, and what his life is. I'm rambling, I'm so sorry, I keep doing that. But, there's nothing wrong with you. You are wonderful the way you are, and your relationship and your happiness will come with time. Just let it happen. Just let it happen. Literally, things will come when they're supposed to, and sometimes they come unexpectedly. That is not an innuendo, and that's not a dirty joke. Okay, I think before I start, like, going off on a tangent, I'm going to end this honest conversation here. If you guys like this, please give me a thumbs up. Please share this video with your friends. Tell them to subscribe to my channel, maybe. I will see you guys on Sunday for my Sunday vlog, or maybe it'll be earlier than Sunday, I'm not sure, but you guys will be getting another vlog this week. And let me know if you guys are enjoying Music Mondays. I need to know some feedback about that. So yeah, I love your faces. You're all beautiful individuals, and you deserve the best. And I'll see you in the next video.